Welcome in YouTube to patch 7.1 Crossroads of Final Fantasy XIV, where I don't know what's going to happen, but this video is going to be the MSQ. There will be a separate video for the Alliance raid and maybe another separate video for the start of the society quests with the Pelu Pelu or the Hanu. I don't remember. I feel terrible because I should know this, but I don't remember it. Anyway, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below and let me know what you're thinking of these videos and how you are enjoying them. And that you can catch me live on Twitch, where I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, starting between 9 and 10 a.m. Pacific time. I love you, YouTube, and let's get on over to the gameplay. A royal invitation. Bal Wuruk is eager to hear how you have been getting on. Ah, it is a pleasure as always, Arilith. Have you been able to relax lately? Apparently I have, even though I've been doing savage raids. Wonderful. As busy as you have been with the rite of succession among other things, you deserve an opportunity to experience Tuliyola at a more leisurely pace. Sampling the tacos at Jibalyev Tai is one such way to do so. They're made the traditional way and laden with fillings, and are absolutely sublime. If you have an empty stomach, the owner, Brook Evu, will look after you. You know what, I'm gonna actually switch to headphones. I think that's just the better call overall. I think it'll make better content. I'll be able to hear it. I'm not going to be sitting here worrying that the speakers are going to get picked up twice. Ooh. Okay. Okay. What am I doing? What am I doing? Sorry. Now I'm lost on my other things. Okay. So where are we going? We're going over to Brook Evu at the place where... over here. That unlocks our next extreme. We might see some of that today on stream. I don't know. I might save that for another stream. Alright, Brookibu. Well, if it isn't Arilith. Alone today, are you? I see, I see. If you have a hankering for tacos, then they're on the house. Consider it a token of gratitude for your help tracking down those treasures. Go ahead and find a table. I'll bring your meal as soon as it's ready. Okay. Empty seat. Is it going to be voice acted? Please tell me it's going to be voice acted. Those tacos do look pretty good, not gonna lie. You still love tacos, eh? Or I hope? Wait, nope, sorry. You still love tacos, I hope. You ate so many when you turned 5, you could barely move afterwards. Remember that? No, not really. That was 30 years ago for me. Oh, that's right. Right, sorry. It's still strange for me, too. Just the other day, you were a little boy clinging to your mother's skirt as you set off for Usulani. And now, you're a grown man with a face full of hair. Even so, I knew you were my son the instant I saw you. We're still family, and you can always rely on me. Relying. That feels like the only thing I'm doing right now. On you and everyone else. Can't even start a fire without assistance at my new job. Back in Alexandria, we had Electrope. If I needed fire, all I had to do was press a button. Everything was at our fingertips. But here, I'm helpless. A culinarian who can't even light the stove. The way the others in the kitchen stared at me. Gods, I've never felt so embarrassed. I'm sorry to hear that. I'd been told the tales, but it seems life is really different within the dome. My wife and children. Was thinking I'd have them join me once things had settled, but at this rate... I say you send for them. If they're your family, then they're mine too. I'll do whatever's necessary to make it work. I didn't mean to overhear, but it seems you're having trouble readjusting to life in Tuliolol. Val Wuklamat. To aid folk like yourself, we've established a support group of the Wing of Reflection. There, you can learn the skills you need to live outside the dome. It isn't easy being back, I know, but I'm hopeful that they can make things easier. That's exactly what I need. I'll definitely seek this group out, and I'll bring my family with me. Thank you. Glad to see Wuklamat is as cheerful as ever. Oh, look who it is! I was just about to go and find you, Arilith. You don't mind the company, I hope? I could use a bite to eat myself. Come on, Wook, let's have fun. Sorry, Lamachi. We're friends. That was an ASMR bite. Ah, the tacos here never disappoint. So what have you been up to lately? Exploring Tyrol with my trusty alpaca? Nope. Catching up on sleep? Nope. I did help out the Wakumeki Meki, working to recover some stolen art. I've been making a name for myself at the Arcadion. You're fighting in the arena in Alexandria? By facing off against tough opponents, I'd wager you've honed your skills even further. As for myself, I'm being kept busy with duties at the palace. But whenever I find a moment, I like to walk the streets and talk to the people. That way, I can better understand the problems they have and share them with Kona to figure out solutions. I was on one such walk just now, and as I mentioned, I was hoping to find you. Kona and I have something we want to discuss with you, as Dawn servants. Do you have time to come to the palace? Of course, Lamachi. Great, I'll go on ahead. Please come and join us once you've finished here. Okay, so I actually genuinely have no ideas on what it's gonna be. Is this, because we know that there's gonna be a funeral for Sphene. Like, that was in the trailer. Are they the ones that, like, bring up the idea of doing the funeral for Sphene? What quest is that? An intrepid new enterprise? Huh. Boo-ba-doo! Boo-boo! Boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo-boo. I need to find the Ethernet shard so we can teleport to the palace. Oh, I didn't notice this before, but I like this change where it shows where you currently are, which is pretty easy to see, and where your last teleport was. Okay, but we want to go to Valak Shumsna. Door. Sometimes doors are hard to find, even though they're giant. I wonder, do we switch to Dancer to just, like, have the Peloton to get us through areas quicker? Perhaps we do. Mayhap we do. What was up with that shadow? The shadow is floating. Alright. That's funny. Lion's Guard Gate, or Land's Guard, not Lion's Guard. What does Wuklamat say? It seems Kona's gone somewhere, sorry. Mistress Arilith, it is always an honor. Val Kona has stepped away to attend to a pressing matter, but he should join you within before long. Enter Sunperch. Are we gonna fight? We fought other people when we came through here. Oh, it's got no voice acting, but we got Kryl and the twins. How did I miss Graha? Maybe I assumed Graha was me because of the ears. I don't know. But legit, like, I was blind to Graha in that scene. Oh, you're all here too! Valcona summoned us. Though if truth be told, Alfino and I have been seeing him quite regularly of late. He asked us to share our knowledge of Hanish culture, you see, in hopes of further strengthening your alliance. We were, of course, happy to oblige him. I forgot how to do Alfino's voice. Kryle and I were likewise summoned. Otherwise, we've been carrying on with our work, compiling information on the Golden City. My grandfather embarked on his investigation 20 years ago. With our report, we shall finish what he started. Aww. Lest you wonder, Thancred and Oriange have left to resume their tour of Tural. Ishtola, meanwhile, is back to researching cross-rift travel. She was here just a few days ago to get Kona's permission to investigate living memory. By the way, she mentioned wanting to take a look at the key in your keeping at some point. You mean the Azim key? If the look she had in her eyes was any indication, I suggest you brace yourself for when she comes calling. You'll like to be stuck with her for a while. Oh, that's perfectly fine. As for Estinian, we know neither where he is nor what he is doing. Some things never change. He's probably eating sabotenders. Oh, I forgot that the throne was like cut in half when the fight with Zeralja. My apologies for the delay. Think nothing of it. We took advantage of the time to catch up. So what can we do for you? Hopefully present company is enough for whatever it is you need. Oh, he did the anime thing. He pushed his glasses up. The matter for which I have summoned you pertains to Alexandria. A state funeral will soon be held in Solution 9 to mourn the passing of Queen Sphene. King Gulalja and his administration have invited us to attend. While certain issues remain unresolved between our nations, such as the treatment of Yusilani, I see no reason not to attend. For generations, the Alexandrians have lived without even the awareness of death. I wouldn't have expected them to have funeral rites still. Apparently, the members of Oblivion unearthed records of ceremonies that were conducted in the Alexandria of old. It was they who put forth the proposal that the Queen be thus honored. Leave it to that lot to think of such things. The people of Alexandria no longer forget the departed. They're being confronted with the idea of death for the first time. I suspect our friends wanted to do something for them. Though Sphene was but a simulacrum, she was nonetheless a pillar for her people. The pain of her passing must run deep. Yeah, probably. Indeed, a funeral will give Alexandrians the chance to come together to express their grief, that they might overcome it. I wasn't sure at first, but I've decided to go. Not only to be there for Gululja, but to put this chapter behind us. That I requested your presence was none other than to see if you wished to attend the funeral. You knew Sphene as well, after all. Do I have an option? Like, can I say yes or no? I think I should go. Sometimes I wonder if there wasn't another way that would be inappropriate. Why would... Because we killed her? Would that be why it's inappropriate, Arilith? I disagree, though. I don't think it would be inappropriate. Oh, this one's... I mean, I do think Arilith should go. I do, though. Sometimes I do wonder if there wasn't another way. Did it have to go the way it did? You and me both. But we made our choices and are responsible for what comes of them. As vow, I'll attend the funeral in an official capacity. I owe it to the Alexandrian people to bear witness to their grief. I'd like it if you could be there to watch over everything, like you did all through the rite of succession. Yeah. I feel the rest of us should go too. Regardless of the reason, the fact remains that we deprived Alexandria of a beloved ruler. It's only right that we remember who Sphene was, to her people and to others, so let us stand with you. Maybe we should put on pants for this, though. Then it's decided. Let's head to Solution 9 and look for Gululja in the back room. Why are we going to the back rooms? There's horror in the back rooms. Oh, me and Kona are hanging back together? What do you have to say, Kona? Crossroads. Final Fantasy XIV. That's my best impression of a Resident Evil intro. It wasn't even my best. I could have tried harder. Alright, to Solution 9! We don't need that. Dawn Trail, Solution 9. I have free teleports there because what did I do? I registered a security token. Yep. So basically I have two-factor authentication, which is what everybody should have for everything, by the way. Where am I going? I'm going, no, over... That's the closest teleport. I love the music here. It's so good. You're heading to the back room. Yes. Gululja, how you been, boy? What does Shale have to say? Glad to see the invitation reached you. As you may have heard, we were able to find data on forgotten funeral customs amidst old records. It appears to have been preserved by those who rued the loss of a culture due to the proliferation of regulators. We're grateful to their foresight. Is this one going to be voice acted? Otherwise I gotta try and put on my best kid voice. And I feel like his was like a little low and like well, not low, but like, it was kind of like, there was a little bit of a gravel to it, I think. But it was kind of high pitched too. This is not it at all. But I think this is what we're gonna go for. Ah, you came for the funeral. Of course. I'm the only one who will officially take part though. The others will watch over the proceedings. So how have you been? It's been a while since my last visit. I'm good. Shale is always teaching me new things. Recently, I've learned about Everkeep's systems and the mechanical soldiers. It's knowledge I'll need to use my authority properly. Studious as always. I see. By way of treat, I've brought you gâteau à chocolat. It's a kind of cake. I think you'll like it. I thought it was a crafting food. Is he going to be a crafter? Thank you, Lamachi! And thank you for coming! I've never been to a funeral before, so I feel less nervous having you here. Out of curiosity, what's the custom in Alexandria? In our world, it's common to offer flowers to the departed. It's much the same here according to the records. Flowers will be distributed to all attendees. Considering that all the worlds used to be one, the practice of offering flowers may well share the same ancient origin. Fascinating, wouldn't you say? Alright, what are we taking? Aqua pizza? Pazza? Not pizza. Driftwood catfish pie. Tenacity, vitality, determination, direct hit vitality. We'll take the driftwood catfish pie. It gives me more direct hit. Might as well, right? Taral has been added to the Unending Codex. Alexandria mourns. Hold on. Shale. While we proposed the funeral, the royal administration took on the brunt of the planning. One of their number can better explain what that ceremony will entail. Raha, for the people to take it on themselves to organize and hold the funeral. It speaks to their enduring love for Sphene. Alize? It's a relief to see that Gululjar is doing well. He's been through too much for one so young. Kryl? From a group that plotted to undermine a tyrant king from the shadows to one that aids their fellow citizens in the open. Oblivion has come a long way. Alfino? Although I've been in the back room before, there was no time to see the sights. I should like to take a closer look at the equipment. Papa always said he didn't want a somber funeral, so we celebrated his life together with our victory. I'm sure he would have loved it. I like to think he was watching us from the world beyond, filling his cup every time we filled our own. Ow, I just hit my heel on the chair legs, and oh boy did that hurt. Gululjar wishes to go and collect his flower for the funeral. Okay. The flowers are being handed out at Praxis Park. I'm thinking of heading over there now. We'll join you. There's a man I would like to speak with, Gosan. He was apparently Sphene's aide, and the one who sent us the invitation. Come on, let's go. Where is Praxis Park? Because that I don't remember. To the north. Ambelina? Dun 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 dun. That reminds me of a Coheed song. I wonder if that's where they got their name. I could send him a tell and ask. Nah. Hello, Coheed fan. Where are we going? No. Praxis Park, Resolution. I was like, Nexus Arcade? No, that's not right. Probably over here where the group of people is. This is one of my favorite quality of life things that they introduced with Dawn Trail. Was the thing, except it didn't do it there, where the people would disappear as you get closer to a quest objective. Why you're... I'm Val Wuklamat of Tuliola. Thank you for extending us an invitation to Queen Sphene's funeral. We are honored, truly. I had seen you from a distance, but never had the pleasure. I am Gosan, former chief aide to the Queen. Since her passing, I have been responsible for administering affairs of state. Can we get our flowers here? Yes, Your Majesty. The flowers are being handed out at the counter yonder, alongside the regulators. What? We need to wear regulators for the funeral? Rest assured they are not a requirement. We're aware your people do not use them. You see, people in the Alexandria of old wore tokens of something because I accidentally pressed the skip button. As such tokens were black, it was suggested that we might wear regulators painted the same color. We've yet to produce enough for everyone, but we're distributing them as we are able. I see. Yet, regulator or no, the important thing is that we remember Queen Sphene. Remember her and her kindness as you make an offering of your flower. I will. The proceedings will soon begin in this plaza. Please take your place once you have your flower. Why can't I just like not? First off, why am I still bouncing? Second, why can't I ever just be quiet when things are going on? And like I'm in the middle of a scene waiting for something. Why do I always gotta be making noises? Ooh, scene starting. This one's gonna have talking, right? I like the anime style of art right there, not gonna lie. Where's my webcam? Because I feel like this is gonna be voiced. I think I just said that.
Although we are gathered here for the same reason, we hail from different lands.
Way off on his voice. I went with an old man voice because, you know, he's got wrinkles.
Some were born and raised in the Alexandria of old, while others came to us from Tuliolal. It was from this union of diverse peoples that a new Alexandria was born. The only home that our younger generation knows. How did we overcome the barriers between us? What moved us to join hands in common purpose beneath crackling skies? You know the answer. We survived. We thrived because Queen Sphene brought us together.
She really did. And again, I don't fault her for what she did.
Inspired and encouraged by her boundless kindness, we strove to be better, for ourselves as well as those around us. And in Her Majesty's absence, there is a sadness beyond words. Yet we must. We will remember her. Remember all the good that she has done for us. So let us pray, as the people of the Old Kingdom once did, for the peaceful repose of the departed.
That's the wrong mouse. This is the only one. Oh, nope, now he looks genuinely sad too.
And let us keep our beloved queen forever in our hearts, that her memory might guide us unto the morrow. Would that I could find solace in my own words.
Alright, is this part gonna get me? Are those the Elpis flower? Or am I just... Maybe it's the same model as the Elpis flower? Oh, the respects emote.
Was Queen Sphene taken to the cloud?
She must have been. To still remember her is strange, isn't it, darling?
I miss her. She would always cheer me up when I was down. But even though I remember her, I'll never see her again. That doesn't make sense.
It seems that's what it means to die, I'm afraid.
We're gonna get flashbacks to all the people we've watched die. Are we gonna see... I'm missing his name right now. The little Lalafell that, Papalimo. Are we gonna see Horshaphant? Yazael?
But what will happen to us? Are we just going to be sad forever?
It's a
What will happen indeed?
hard thing to explain, Div.
Everything that we have, we owe to Queen Sphene. How are we to go on without her?
I still remember Her Majesty so clearly. If only I didn't, I might feel better about the future of our realm.
We have no way to reinstate it.
Perhaps we should also consider moving to Tuliolo. The journey won't be easy, but it'd be better than staying here in uncertainty.
Can Tuliolo handle like a giant influx of people, though? Granted, like, I know Wuklamot would not say no at all. Which is good, in my opinion.
In times like these, I take comfort in the beliefs of a Turali people called the Yokui. To them, death isn't the end. So long as we're remembered, we never truly die. It could be the same for Queen Sphene, you know? If you keep her alive in your hearts, she'll always be with you.
I get what they were going for with, like, her kneeling down to his level. It feels weird, though. Like, it feels like she kneeled too far down.
But we still won't be able to see her, right? I don't want to think about that. I wish I could just forget instead of having to feel like this.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to impose. Please, mourn your queen however you see fit. As expected, they struggle to come to terms with their loss. I hope they can find a way to move forward.
It's not only grief that weighs on them, but worry for the future. Bereft of their queen, how will they proceed?
True. But with that at least, we're not powerless to help. What is it, Guloja?
I was wondering, is it better to remember or forget someone when they're dead? I remember my father, and every time I think of him, it hurts. It's the same with Queen Sphene. Knowing that she's gone makes me feel sad. But it's different with my mother. I never knew her, so I don't feel as bad.
Oh.
I want to remember my father, but maybe I'd be better off forgetting him.
Glorja.
Why don't we continue this somewhere else?
Grief is hard. Like, especially for children. Ba-da-da-dum. Okay. I should have talked to everyone. I'm sorry. Hey, Galulja. Do you really know nothing at all about your mother? Shale searched the system for information on residents, but the only Mamulja she found listed were my father and me. Even if she died and was erased from people's memories, she should have been there, but she wasn't. Well, that means well, hold on. Words are hard. Reading's hard. Well, that you're here means she was here too, inside the dome. There can't be any other way about it. Perhaps we should try looking again. Do you want to know your mom? I think so. Even if it makes me feel sad, I want to know her. So I want to try looking again, and if I don't find anything this time, I'll give up. I don't like the way you said that, buddy. I see. Well, if that's what you want... then I'll help you. I'd like to help as well, and I believe I speak for the others too. I don't like the way he said I'll give up. Not because I think anything sinister behind his words, but I don't like kids saying they'll give up on something. But I can't bother you with this. You already came for the funeral. We came here not only for the funeral, but to see whether all was well in Alexandria. We're not about to leave just yet. Besides, in seeking to learn about your mother, we're bound to learn about your father as well. By retracing the steps of this man who kept his own counsel, we may gain knowledge that can serve the people of Alexandria. Right, thank you everyone. Alexandria mourns. Bum 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 bum. Raha, what do we got? Ooh, I think this is the dungeon already. Assuming neither memories nor records of Galulja's mother remain, we must cast as wide a net as possible. I suggest we split into groups. Arilith, if you could make inquiries outside in the outskirts, the rest of us will do the same in Solution 9. Graha very much for me, also like voice-wise, for voices that I do. I 100% do not think that I am anywhere near matching voices at all. But him and Alphino often overlap and share the same voice. The outskirts. You gotta gather information in the outskirts. 3! Count them. 3! Informations. Hey, it's me. Aww. It was Miauto. Middle-aged Tonawata. Sorry, but I've never heard of a Mamulja woman living in these parts, much less one connected to Zeralja. You might have better luck talking to the people over at a Tonawatan settlement to the north of Everkeep, in a place called Uwayawata. The resilient son won their loyalty when he saved them from some crisis or another, or so the story goes. If I remember correctly, their chief's name was Kaniloka. Your exchange with the middle-aged Tonawata has taught you about Zeralja's Devoted. Okay. Looking for another... Probably going to be going inside buildings, maybe? Here we go, Chatty Shatona. A Mamulja woman? Their people have never been a common sight around here. Why, the last time I saw one would have been before the dome came down over our heads. She was among an entourage of Landsguard that was dispatched here. I assume they all returned to Tuliolal after their mission. But if any remained, I suppose they could have been trapped in here with the rest of us. A Mamulja woman. And fresh-faced Tonawata. You're looking for a Mamulja woman? Ah, Gululja's mother. I can't help you there, I'm afraid. I only know a little about Zeralja, and then only what my father told me. He said that before the dome cut us off from the outside world, Taral Vidral had appeared and was terrorizing the region. In response, Zeralja assembled a party of warriors and with them confronted and felled the beast. It was interesting to hear of the king's feat in the past. A battle with a Taral Vidral. Could that be the battle with Valley Armanda? Did Zeralja... Oh, we gotta go back to the back rooms. Is Zeralja telling people that he killed it? When it was me? And my fellow warriors of light? I will not accept this. But, actually, don't really feel like that would be his swing. You headed to the back room, yes. I don't feel like Zeralja would lie. I feel like if that is indeed the story, the same one about the Valley Armanda, I feel like he would actually mention that it was us that helped him. Gululja has told me all. We've previously tried to track down records of his mother, but came up empty-handed. With everyone's help, hopefully we can get somewhere this time. Well, here's what I got. Notes on a Mamalja woman, notes on Zeralja's Devoted, and on a battle with the Taral Vidral. Ah, so you spoke with quite a few different people as well. Let's combine all our findings and see what conclusions we might draw. So Zeralja brought a retinue of Landsguard to Yusalani, among whom was a female Mamulja. His mission was to rid the region of a Taral Vidral. I believe it's safe to say that that was the crisis in Uwayawata he resolved. If some of his troops stuck around for a time, perhaps to assist the villagers with recovery efforts, then they could have indeed gotten trapped in the dome. We also heard stories about the settlement in Uwayawata. People lived there until nearly a decade ago, and Zeralja made regular visits. If he required a secrecy, a location home to his most loyal followers would be ideal, and if this Mamalja woman had remained there, they would have had occasion to come in contact. I see, but what could Zeralja have been doing in that village? I think we can answer that question. In order to retrace Zeralja's steps, Raha and I spoke with a researcher who worked at Origenics. He said that approximately 20 years ago, a number of his colleagues were transferred to a research facility outside Everkeep, per the king's direct order. This is the first I've heard of such a facility. Only Vanguard was believed to have been under the king's jurisdiction. It was apparently being used to develop a new kind of weapon, but I'm afraid that was all we could learn. It's plenty to go on. Even if the work there was classified, any materials and equipment needed would have been manufactured within Everkeep. So if we look into transportation records, we'll find the location of our next dungeon. There it is. The routes are full of detours and attempts at obfuscation, but large deliveries were being made to Yuwa Yawata, far too large for a mere village. There hasn't been any activity for years, though. It's likely the facility has been decommissioned. Do you think that's where my mother was? We can't say for certain just yet, but I reckon there's a good chance. This is amazing! Even though no one remembers her, you managed to figure all of this out. Each piece of this puzzle may reveal little on its own, but when we put several together, a picture begins. Graha, that's how a puzzle works! Come on! And even should memories fade, footprints remain to mark the path of those who walked before. A lesson I learned in another life. So we'll be investigating this secret facility in Yuwa Yawata then. And this time I want you to come along, Gululja. Yuwa Yawata is on the other side of the lake. To get there, you'll need to take a hover cargo from the Drift Downs. Alright, thank you, Shale. Bum bum ba da dun 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 dun. Ba-dum, ba-da-dun dun dun. Where is the Drift Downs? Is that near where? Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. It's near where Origenics is. So I wonder if that's where the other dungeon's entrance is going to be, or if we're going to get a new little area. Guess we'll find out. Also, we're going to go until we unlock the dungeon. Then I'm going to take a break, run to the bathroom, run some ads so that we have no pre-rolls. And once the ads are done, we will queue into the dungeon. That way people who are aren't subscribed aren't missing anything. And so that trying to get better at actually not saying like uhs and ums too, as I immediately do it. It's difficult, okay? But so that people who aren't subscribed aren't missing any content of the game, and people who are just watching also aren't gonna miss anything. Not Wuklama, but okay. We've seen how much has changed for the part of Yusilani that's on this side of the dome. I wonder what it's like on the other. This definitely has like pre-dungeon music sounding. So the hover cargo will take us across the lake. I've never been over there before. It's still inside the dome, so I don't expect it'll be too different from here. We'll likely encounter dangerous beasts, so the rest of us will go first. You follow when it's safe to do so, alright? Alright, be careful everyone! Boom, there we go. Alright, so like I said, we're going to take a break real quick. I'm going to run to the bathroom. We're going to run some ads, so pre-rolls are gone, and we will be back to content in about 3 minutes. See you all in a second. That's all good to go. Special recipes, what? Special are used primarily to craft items required when progressing through certain quests and duties. Okay. Among these are items that are not recorded in the crafting log and therefore will not grant experience, but okay. Oh. Okay, cool. Anyway, let's see, like, let's just see what everyone's roles can be. So she can go as tank or DPS, tank healer or DPS healer, DPS DPS. Okay, but we're not running it like that. Let's pop a food, just so we don't have to remember once we're inside the duty. The party of other players. Less than 5 minutes. Shouldn't be too long then. Can I climb this? I can. I mean, I also could easily just fly up on top of it with a mount. As always, we'll give it the 5 minutes. If the queue doesn't pop within 5 minutes, we will run it with a trust. Just so we're not having to sit around in queues forever. I guess while I'm at it though, I'll go back into the crafting logs. See what else is new. There is... So that's not craftable. Those are craftable. Is this gatherable? No. Is this gatherable? Okay, so there is new things to gather. I'm gonna assume they're at the same nodes as before, which I think I gave my thing to my wife, maybe? Nope. Nope, I don't remember where those are. Okay. That is something that I will want to do here soon. No, not right now, but like possibly tonight or something. We're at 1 minute and 40 already. Hey, actually, hold on. Let's do this. So there is a node way over here. We'll just see if this has new things. And let me Let me grab a pen while we fly over there. Let me make note. This is from 4 to 6, so we have 0 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, minor, bot, and this one is in heritage found. 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 12. I don't know if this is gonna have anything new. It does not. That's like for script farming too. Just abandon the node, please? Is there anything for botanist? I'm also going to cross out the heritage found now because that was not correct. Alright, well, let's go mini fires. Oh, there's gonna be a new etherite here too. Get on your mount? Let's just go attune to that real quick. Anything for botanist here? No. Okay. We might end up running this with a trust. It's already been 4 minutes. I'm genuinely surprised right now. I want to run it with other people. Do, 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 do. Okay, let's see. Does 6 give us any kind of a? We'll wait until 6:05 like 5 Eorzean time before switching classes. Okay, so nothing for botanist. Anything for miner? No? I won't. Let's go back to the outskirts real quick. We'll do a check here for botanist or miner. And then after that, we'll switch back to Gunbreaker and see what happens. Okay, nothing for miner. What about botanist? Nope. Okay. Well, I'm still trying to stall because I'm like, why? I guess let's see if there's any. And no one's got a party, huh? All right. Okay, well, there's a healer. And a DPS. But they might have just finished it. Alright, I guess we'll wait and see. White mage, okay. There we go. I was like, if I just kill time long enough, as long as it doesn't hit 10 minutes. I'm honestly, though, I'm still surprised at that queue. Well, that thing looks cool. Oh, and here's where we're gonna get to see our first attempt at a new Gunbreaker rotation. Stance up. Double down is now 1 cartridge. I just triple wove. Why did I do that? That was a poor choice, but we're rolling with it. Alright, first pull, not bad at all. That was a pretty good first pull. Well, Viper, you sprinted a little early. Tag the other one with range pull. Well, I guess I need to keep in mind that, like, I have a white mage, so they're probably stun locking the enemies for a lot of the damage at the start of the pull. But I mean, both of these pulls I haven't had to really use past my normal amount of mitigation for a double pull. which is good. I guess I'm just surprised because it feels a little easier than some of the more recent Dawn Trail dungeons I've been doing. Oh, Galulja's been like talking through this whole thing too. Whoopsie. My father must have come here for a reason. There are beasts here too. You did it! That one looks mean. Be careful. Oh. I'm seeing an issue with how I do my burst. I wonder if I'm trying to drop. Okay. Ooh! Wonder if we drop Sonic Break or if we drop our last Burst Strike. Can I target it, please? Screwed up my whole rotation. We're gonna kill it before it matters. Yep. We're gonna greed and meat on everything, even if it's just for turning stuff in. I'll take it. Because I have a lot of things I'm working on that I need company seals for. Research note. Hey, yo, let me read it. While His Majesty Zeralja is not the first to conceive of transferring a beast's soul into a person's body, safety and ethical concerns have ensured. Okay. I wanted to read those notes, but all right. Maybe we can go back before we leave the dungeon and read the research notes. I popped that too soon. I'm not getting out of it. I'm getting out of it. I had more faith that we could have beat it, but apparently it was misguided faith. Overseer Kaneloka. Oh, crap. Alright, apparently if you just stay close to the middle through that, you're fine. This is a very tiny area to work with here. Thank you for the tiny little living space. Oh, the hands are creepy. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Not bad. That is a lot busier than you would think. Or, I mean, it appears a lot busier than it actually is. I should not make that hand motion again. What is this? Is that a storm? Alright, apparently you can't stun that. Something's wrong, don't rush ahead. But I want to rush ahead. Okay. Hopefully people don't pull the final boss before I get in there. Has that thing been sealed away all this time? Hey, yo, is this a knockoff Proto-Carby? Taral Vidral Lunipyapti? Lunipyati? Okay. I mean, it is a reskin of Proto Carbuncle from the raids. Greed. Let's go. I'm just getting a lot of gear and I like it. I guess we'll take a look to see what it looks like before we just sell it to the Grand Company, but I don't think I'm going to be using it for anything. Oh, I see why you do that a certain way now. What is that? What is that? What is that? Huh. Oh! No, it's gonna Okay, I see how that works now. I think. Okay. Uh-oh! So we're gonna go here, and then we're gonna move. Oh my god, that was such a tiny safety spot. Okay, so even if the animation is going off, Crater Carve. I want to know if you can fall in and do you die? You do? Caked Up showed me. Ooh. Okay, so that's an interesting fight. And probably the hardest one we've had so far. Not just because we wiped, but because that is very, very interesting. Why did I do that? Okay. Oh, so he doesn't do them in the same order then, huh? Okay, I got clipped by that one. Oh! Okay. This is a fun fight. All right, GG, y'all. Fun fight, fun fight. Bum ba da ba da ba dum. Can I give out a player commendation and then loot? All right, let's go back to the research notes. Bum ba da ba da dun 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 dun. I need to remove, extract a materia. I will say the music while I go back to read these is going to be a little annoying, but it's okay. We're gonna be fine. There was a lot of gear we just got. Let's take a look at some of it. Don't really care about. Where's that? The headpiece. That's the headpiece. Not terrible. Again, not terrible. Not bad. Okay, the code actually looks kind of good. All right, research note. Let's try this again. While His Majesty Zeralja is not the first to conceive of transferring a beast's soul into a person's body, safety and ethical concerns have ensured no earnest attempts have been made to date. Yet our king believes that there is no greater evil than to hinder the potential of man, and so he has ordered us to make this conception a reality. He would bolster our military might and break through into the outside world. If our research will further his ambition, then perhaps it is worth pursuing. Okay. There was another note in here. Our bodies are fragile vessels. Although the infusion of another person's soul confers strength and vitality, the soul of a beast yields mixed results. Even when stripped of memories, a feral soul can induce psychological instability in the subject. I suspect this is because primal instincts remain, and while a certain amount of bestial ferocity is expected, and I dare say welcomed, too many such souls can lead to physical mutations. For now, our objective shall be to determine the threshold beyond which a body is at risk of uncontrolled mutation. So this is kind of like the final boss of the Vanguard dungeon, and most of the bosses of the Arcadion, if not all the bosses of the Arcadion. Bum, bum, ba-da-ba-da-ba. Bum, bum, ba-da-da-da-ba. The rate of transfiguration may be dictated by the potency of the soul consumed. We've experimented with fiends of great power, but mutations were observed after the infusion of merely a single soul. No better was this phenomenon illustrated than with poor Atticus. His body was altered irreparably, and he lost all capacity for rational thought. While the primary objective of this research was to utilize the soul of a Teralverdral, I struggle to see a path forward. An alternative approach must be considered. That's why he captured it. If the source of our failures thus far has been the inability of our bodies to contain feral souls, what if we were to reverse the process? By purging a beast of its memories and infusing it with a man's soul, one still possessed of its own memories, we stand to gain absolute control over a vessel of great power. My subordinate, who first proposed this brilliant hypothesis, shall have the honor of being the first to transcend our meager limits. I must prepare his soul for extraction at once. And I don't think there was any research notes past that, because obviously we're outside of the research area. But we'll check just to be sure. I feel like we'd see them fairly quickly, and I'm not seeing any. Okay. I'm going to assume not. Leave the duty. I got all 3 player commendations. Let's go. Voice
For
acting?
all the talk of my brother felling this beast, he only imprisoned it, like Vali Armanda.
From what I could tell, they sought to transfer people's souls and memories into bestial vessels at that facility. The Teralverdral explains the need for a remote location. It was doubtless their prime subject. Though I expect Zeralja did not foresee the opportunities it presented when he imprisoned the creature.
We didn't kill it yet. Uh-oh. The Echo.
And so, in order to prevent the breakdown of the individual, I instead seek to transfer their soul into the body of the beast.
This would allow one to wield the power of a Teralverdral.
In theory, our initial experiments will involve lesser creatures. But in time, I am confident we will be able to bring even the mightiest under our control.
And what becomes of those who offer their souls?
As they won't be able to return to their original forms, we must consider them lost. But the sacrifice will be worthwhile, for the army you stand to gain will far surpass any composed of mechanical soldiers.
Very well. Recruit volunteers and begin at once.
Thank you, Your Majesty.
I shall return to the observatory and see to the necessary preparations.
So, you've given him permission?
Teishalja, you will assist Kaniloka.
Oh, is this his mom?
As one of the Land's Guard's finest chirurgeons, your knowledge may be of use in his experiments. You will also watch him closely. And what you learn, you will report to me. You object to his project? Or are you incapable of performing this duty?
Probably the first
Your
one.
Majesty. Whether we shelter within the dome or expand beyond it, we require great power. But with no one to rely upon, we must take that power for ourselves, even if the means are questionable. I will do as you command.
Hold up. Just in case. Just in case. What if Galulja's mom was transferred into the Tural Vidral we just fought? Because normally when your character, when the Warrior of Light gets a flashback with the Echo, they are seeing memories of the person's life. I'm worried now. For Galulja's sake. Because if that's the case, we've killed both his parents. In the span of probably a few months. Let's get back into it.
But if Kaniloka's work bears fruit, I wish to beg a boon.
What do you desire?
Something that I had accepted I would never have in Tuliolal. That I believed would forever be beyond me. That it was foolish to covet. But here and now, it is close. So very, very close.
Perform your duty to my satisfaction, and anything you desire is yours.
That's how he has a kid. She wants a child. She wants him.
Does not lie within this dome. Here, I cannot prove the miracle. But if what you seek is at hand, then you may claim it, for it has no value to me.
Oof. Hurtful. Hurtful. There it goes.
Are you all right?
I just had a vision.
Teishalja. Could she be my mother?
Like the people in the outskirts said, few Mamulja lived in the Yasulani. I can't imagine many other Ubiko women were trapped in the dome. That being the case, she could well be the one.
This observatory Kaniloka returned to, could it not be part of the research facility? We might learn something about Teishalja there.
Okay.
That's where we're going next then.
To there. I wish I could see into the past like you. Then I could see people who are gone. Because there aren't any other Mamulja women here. For a long time I couldn't even imagine what my mother looked like. But when I visited Tuliolol, I saw some. I was finally able to picture her in my mind. And one day, I hope I can see what she actually looked like as well. Let's go Quick Arm. Yeah, we can now do the trust system with it, I know. While we've discerned the purpose of the research conducted here, the traces of it that remain might afford us greater insight into what came of it. Let us take a look around for information as well as a way to the upper level. Search for a way to the upper level. Okay. Let's add the materia to our thing. What happened to the people here? Did they all leave or did we already meet them? Well, feel like it's probably the second option, buddy. To think that people actually volunteered their souls for these experiments. Success was far from guaranteed, and even in the best case, they would cease to be men. Was their devotion to Zeralja so absolute? Wrought iron gate. It won't open, and I don't think it'll yield to our shoulders either. We'll have to do it the old-fashioned way and find the key. Let me take a look. All right. There's Raha and Kryl. I wonder what Beklug would make of this research into transferring souls. You know, that's kind of what we did with you, isn't it? We put your soul into a vessel. The researchers likely moved between the upper and lower levels. Perhaps we can find a key among their belongings. It makes me angry to think about what they did here. Test subject's journal. Key? A key? Open cabinet. They're recruiting volunteers for a new experiment. I know I'm not as bright as the others, but they wouldn't laugh at me if I was stronger than them. This might be my chance. Soul transferred a few days ago. I can write. Can write good, yes? I am good. Very good. Eating hard to control strength. Today bit off hand of feeder. Cannot help it so strong. Hungry. Always hungry. Cannot control. Eat. I must eat. Am eater. Must eat. You find nothing that resembles a verification key. Supplies for the staff are neatly arranged within the cabinet. Among the various items is a manual outlining regulations and tranquilizing gas to be used in emergencies. You dig deeper and find a verification key. Perhaps it can be used to open the iron gate. Well, now I'm curious as to what was the other direction. But that'll just only be known when we do Morrigan's playthrough. Which I doubt I will record or stream because we're doing it all on Arilith. You found the key? Great, I'll call the others. It seems the key can be used to operate the lift as well. Up we go. What will we find? Will we find Zeralja's mom? Not Zeralja's, Galulja's mom. Will she be up there? So this is the observatory. I didn't expect it to be so similar. But this is a far cry from the temple that held Valley Armanda. All the machinery appears to still be in operation. I expect there are auxiliary systems in place to ensure that monitoring can continue even in emergencies. The warnings indicate various anomalies related to the seal's failure, most likely. For a blessing, we managed to fail the beast before it could cause harm. Right then, let's see if we can find some clues about Gululja's mother. I think I can use this terminal. Shale taught me how. There's so much data. I don't what we should. I think there's a typo. I think they just forgot a word. There's so much data. I'm gonna go with I don't know what we should look at. Perhaps we can narrow down the search by inputting the name Tishelja. I brought up a lot of results. They all seem to say the same thing. Tishelja, Administrator of Experimental Treatments Research Logs. This sounds good, doesn't it? Chances are the data is encrypted, and even if not, it will take considerable time to go through it all. Then let us take it with us to the back room and have Shale analyze it. Agreed. You gonna pull your earring off? Alright, I'll transfer it to this storage device I brought. There, it's finished. Thank you so much for bringing me all the way here, everyone. If you're happy, then so am I. Besides, I was able to learn more about my brother as well. It was a fruitful adventure for the both of us. Aww. His little smile is a good little smile. You make me happy. And here we are. The authorities will doubtless wish to be informed about the facility and its contents. But first things first, let us deliver the data to Shale. Alright, back to Solution 9. And then the Neon Stein. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-dum. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Going to the back rooms, yes. Yes, I am. Welcome back. Gululja has already given me the storage device. There looks to be a wealth of data, all of which is encrypted, so I'll need time to process everything. In that case, Alize and I might take ourselves around the city and check on the people. Their mood has us a bit worried. I don't know if there's anything we can do to help, but we'll see. Understood. I'll let you know as soon as I've finished my work. Thank you. We'll see you again soon. Among the Abandoned. Guidance of the Hetso. Alize isn't wrong. The mood out there is still grim. Some of the Turali remember a time before they were dependent on the Sol system, but even they're unsettled and wondering aloud if they'll have the chance to reunite with old friends and family before they pass on. With good reason, too. A journey home won't be an easy one for those who have grown old. That's why it's mostly younger folk who have been leaving for Tural, ones with no elders to care for. Word of that problem has reached us in Tuliola. My brother is doing all he can to see the Jacques Tural Railroad restored to operation, so that people may come and go more freely. Unfortunately, the tracks only go as far as Vanguard, so some traveling by foot will still be necessary. Even so, the railroad would make things a sight easier. How long before it's back in service? I couldn't say. When I left for this visit, Kona seemed reluctant to make promises. But while Shale's working on the data, we could go and see the state of it for ourselves. To Shaloni Station, then. I'll make sure to keep Kona informed. Okay. Sounds good to me. To Sheshinawezi Springs. Speak with Wabalika and Sheshinawezi. Why are we going there? Oh. Where's that one? Oh, Mahwat. Okay. No, this is where we needed to go. Is Walika who I think it is? No. Nope. Not who I thought it was. I can't remember the name of the person. Yep. The Shatona. Vow of resolve, and Arilith Initari to boot. What can I do for you? What can I do you for, is what he said. We're hoping for some good news about the railroad. There's an increasing number of people looking to return to Tural that can't make the journey on foot. I see. As it happens, the Vow of Reason is also on his way here to take stock of the situation. Ah, scratch the on his way. He just went from like southern to... Oh! Arnville got an outfit change. Did our little Bun Bun finally outgrow his old clothes? That's what we're going with. We're not doing looking good. Did our little Bun Bun finally outgrow his old clothes? Stop that. As you well know, my previous attire was that of a gleaner, and I have chosen a different path. It was time for a change. You'll hear about the railroad too. I was in part for my sake that the original Dawn Blazer was sacrificed, so I felt it only right that I assist with its replacement. Speaking of which, I assume Lamachi has explained the growing urgency of the need. What have you to report? The new locomotive was on track for completion, but we're having difficulty pulling her into the station, in a manner of speaking. You see, when we used the Dawn Blazer to get into the dome, urgency outweighed all other considerations. But now we're back to our original problem. How to run the railroad without upsetting the inhabitants of Melwahetsoan. That is the ironic. Though the Hetsaro that follow them are none too pleased about their Hetso being spooked by the noise of the locomotive either. The solution I've devised to quieten the railroad should address that complaint. But a silent train presents a different danger. The Ronik will need to be deterred from wandering across the track. And I suppose we can't just blow the whistle at them or they'll panic and be put off their grazing again. Weren't the railroads plotted to avoid the Ronik's preferred grazing areas though? It's odd that they're getting so close in the first place. The Ronik's grazing patterns have shifted since the tracks were laid. I am not certain why, but I intend to ask the people of Mahuatzon for their insight. As a major proponent of the railroad, I have a duty to assist in this matter. and I too would hear what the Hetzaru have to say about it. They are the ones most affected, after all. I believe it would be best to begin by consulting their leader, Huato. The rest of you can accompany us to the Hetzaru encampment if you like. Okay, sounds good to me. There's so many people here. We'll fly over on our little cart. I could just teleport. I really could. But I think we're gonna just spend some time and fly, fly, fly. Do, 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 do. It really picked up my foot tap there? It did. Okay. Vow of resolve, vow of reason. I bid you welcome to our camp. But what brings you all the way to Mahuatzone? I thank you for seeing us. Our visit concerns the matter of the Jacques Toral Railroad. Oh, and then you're explaining everything. Okay. You too have noted the Ronik's unexpected change in behavior then. My son, Shepetto, has been looking into this matter. Shepetto? Normally, we'd expect the Ronik to keep to their favored grounds nearby for a while yet, and despite a thorough search, we haven't found anything wrong. With the quantity or quality of the grazing in Piarioanan and Yartanane. Yet they refuse to keep to where they usually would, instead pushing westward towards your railroad. I certainly see no cause for this unseasonal migration. Nevertheless, should they continue to move west, we will follow. As any true Hetzaru would, I suppose. As you may have surmised, I am of Hetzaru descent. My parents traveled with the Ronik as well, though I have no memory of the experience. I was left behind as a babe, you see, during such a migration. One of many sacrifices necessitated by a nomadic lifestyle, I am forced to assume. He told us this before. And chance encounter with a kind Pelu merchant was the only reason I survived. Taking pity on me, he taught me his trade that I might fend for myself. I became a stall keeper in Tuliola's markets, and that is where the Dawn Servant found and adopted me. I had already been in the palace some time when Lamachi came to join us. Like me, she had been cast aside by her parents. I knew the pain of solitude and wanted to spare her that suffering. As this tiny child's new brother, I swore I would always be there for her. Truly, I have never heard of the Ronik choosing a path so arduous as to force such a terrible decision, nor of any Hetzaru willingly leaving their own flesh and blood behind. There must have been some exceptional circumstance. I cannot say. The idea of following in their footsteps that I might better make excuses for their action never much appealed to me. Even if it might help you better understand the Ronik's current behavior? As is so often the case, you are correct. Though my discomfort with the Hetzaru may arise from fear of reopening old wounds rather than blind fervor for innovation, you would nevertheless see me repeat my past mistakes. And to refuse to learn one of our country's treasured traditions would make me a poor Dawn servant indeed. Please, teach me of the Ronik and what they mean to you. I promise to listen with an open mind. We would be delighted. In the meantime, your companions are welcome to look around. Will you learn of Hetzaru culture with me? I should like to approach this with the fervent curiosity that you and my sister share, but it would be useful to know whether I am doing it correctly. Then it's settled. You'll learn more of the Ronic, and we'll have a look around the plains, and perhaps in the process we'll find the answers we seek. And here's where we're going to take another break real quick to run some more ads, and we will be back in about 3 minutes. Talk with Shipetto. The quickest way to learn about our... Whoopsie. I am not the most experienced, I'm ashamed to admit, but I shall put forth every effort. That's all we ask. Take these tools. Okay. Now introduce yourself to anyone who looks busy and ask if you can help. They'll be happy to teach you what to do in exchange for another pair of hands to do it. Let us meet back here later to share what we've learned. Alright, so there's 4 people to help. I guess we'll start over here and then just work our way around. Playful Hetsaru. You're learning about the Hetsaru way of life, are you? I may have a thing or two to share, but rather than talking your ear off, let me test your powers of deduction. I find answers much easier to recall later if I have arrived at them myself. Our Hetso provide us with something that we use in medicines, poultices and soap, to drive away pests and to sustain our fires. What is it? Bones? Hooves? Both horns and hooves have cores of bone, and we use all of these materials, albeit primarily in tent poles, instruments, and the like. It's not quite the answer I was looking for. Okay. Is it dung again? It sounds like there's a story there, but that is indeed the correct answer. We've discovered myriad uses of Ronic chips over time, each a boon to our way of life. If there is a need, our Hetso always provide. Okay. I don't know what to make of that. I'm a little... I don't know. I don't know. Troubled Hetso. This won't do. The wind will go right through it, and me without my needle and sinew. Here you go. Oh, these are precisely what I needed. I should be able to patch up the covering now. Given how often we pack up and reassemble our tents, they're bound to get the occasional tear. Fortunately, the Ronic hide they're made of is durable enough that we generally needn't worry. Okay. Talkative Hetsaru. Oh, and then that's going to be the ruffled Ronic. I'm afraid I've finished with my tasks for the time being, but since you're so eager to learn about our way of life, why don't I tell you a bit about our migration customs? If you're here, you likely already know that the Ronic are our Hetso, our guides, that we travel with through the turning of the seasons. We trust them to lead us to fertile lands with all we need to survive. But you may not know that sometimes the herd splits into 2, bound for different paths. On those occasions, we Hetsaru must also part with half of our number. You may think it a strange and stressful custom, but over the years it has seen us visit new lands and broaden our horizons as people. This too is the wisdom of the Hetso. Maybe that's why he got left. Not that he actually got left, but that they split. I'm just trying to be nice here, you know, think of things. I don't want to think that his parents just straight up abandoned him. Ran right past it. Oh. As you stroke the Ronic's coat, you note that many portions are shaggy and tangled. This one's fur is a bit overgrown, but a good brushing should thin it out. Would you like to give it a try? You'll need the right tool for the job, mind you. A comb of the type you're used to would just get lost in the tangle, like as not. I actually think this is a woman, maybe? Yep, might be. Ah, Geppetto sent a Ronic brush with you, did he? How like him? Now, just run it through one little patch at a time. Gently. You dutifully brush the Ronic until your arms grow weary from the prolonged battle with its coat. It appears much tidier now, though the same cannot be said for your clothes, which have acquired a new coat of their own. Well done! With less excess fur, our friend here will be more comfortable in the afternoon heat, and less susceptible to illness. A combed coat also makes it easier for us to identify injuries should the need arise. And now we go turn in the quest. You smell of the grass and the wind, which is a good thing, I promise. You could nearly be mistaken for one of us. You even look the part. I have to wonder how Valcona is getting on. I assumed he would be reluctant to get his hands dirty, but it seems his wish to understand us was sincere. Ah, there he is now. That thing's eyes look a little scary. Apologies for my tardiness. I was tasked with grazing the Ronic and ended up rather farther afield. I found myself wandering hither and thither at my companion's inclination. To force us back to the trail seemed inappropriate. But how was your own work? Have you anything to share? Its our life revolves around the Ronic, but in turn the people receive all they need. The Ronic are treasured members of this community, as important as family. That's the answer I'm going to go with. Indeed. The Ronic provide for the Hitsaru, and in turn the Hitsaru are good to the Ronic, just as family should be. Mine is not the only way, though at times I lack the experience to know otherwise. My inability to conceive of how a decision might be right does not mean that it is wrong. My parents had a duty to the Ronic as they did to me, and so I wonder if their leaving me behind was not so selfish an act as I once believed. I have no way to know, of course, and regardless, this has no bearing on our present concerns. We are here in service of the people of Tyrol, after all. Nevertheless, I thank you for helping me find deeper meaning in what we've done today, and I will endeavor to remain curious, especially where the Hetzo are concerned. I'm glad to hear that, Valcona. You're welcome among our herd any time. I'm not gonna lie, that Ronic's eyes are a little scary. Yeah, we'll go Determination, Vitality, Critical Hit, why not? Things that won't require us to blow like our raid food, why not? The warmth of family. I feel like, oh no, Kona, how did it go? I believe I finally understand the significance of the Hetzo. They nourish the Hetsaru as they grow and provide warmth and companionship in a harsh and unpredictable world. They are the equal of any man, not beasts to be tamed. Moreover, Ronic are sensitive. Though we may treat their injuries or brush their coats to keep them hale, they must never be free to follow their instincts and seek lands where they might thrive. Oh, they must ever be free to follow their instincts and seek lands where they might thrive, not never. The Hetsaru would never cage them, and neither should we. To control their migratory patterns or capture those who wander too close to the tracks is out of the question. then it is particularly important to advance our original line of inquiry. Fortunately, we were able to visit the Ronik's once favored grazing grounds. As we were told, the grass looks fine, but the place is too quiet. It's not just the Ronik, even the birds and field mice have fled. We did encounter one pack of Ceratoraptors, but they looked to be passing through in a hurry. Typically, that sort of behavior in the fauna would be associated with natural disasters, earthquakes, landslides, and the like. Though the Hetzaru would have surely put two and two together were the cause geological, I measured the area's ether to be certain. There was indeed nothing to suggest recent environmental disruption, but I did notice one anomaly. A strong etheric signature to the east, moving across the plains, albeit slowly. A large animal, perhaps? A Taral Vidral? And a powerful one like as not, a predator given the local fauna's behavior. One of the raptors we saw looked like it had a bite taken out of its tail by something with very large fangs. It couldn't be a Toru Hetzo. Toru Hetzo? Toru Hetzo? Ronik Reaver, in the common tongue. Our people have several names for such creatures. Fangs that steal Hetzo in the night is another evocative one. Ronik can fend off many predators with their horns, but not the Turo Hetzo. The scales are tough as adamant, and neither horn nor arrow can pierce them. A well-toothed carnivore with an unusually tough hide. I cannot recall any such fauna in this region. They usually roam the wilds in the northeast, and most herds keep well clear of them. I can't tell you why this one is so far from home and its pack both. In any case, I believe the source of the Ronik's consternation is clear, as is our next move. We must drive this reaver away, and they might return to their grazing lands in peace. Sounds like the perfect job for Arilith. Never fear. We will make certain that the beast threatens you no more. It did shake its head like, no, don't do that. That's a bad idea. Maybe we should listen to it, Kona. Maybe we should listen to it. Oh, an instance. All right. The Ronik Reaver is a clear threat to the local population. We cannot allow it to roam unchecked. But it won't do for us to go running off in search of it without having made proper preparations. And if others returning from across the plain have spotted it, they may be able to inform us of its recent behavior and where it might be found. Okay. Item level 730 is what it sinks to, which, I mean, I guess that is technically cap.
Help! Help! Odoru Hetsu is coming this way!
Honestly, I know what this cutscene is.
It has beasts across the plains in a panic, and our Ronek are practically paralyzed with fear. We must get them to safety.
We can assist by helping to calm the creatures. Once they're less agitated, it should be possible to hurt them.
And after they're out of harm's way, we'll deal with the Ronek Reaver.
I suggest you remain here to attend to the Ronek when they arrive.
They'll be safe with me. Please, be careful out there.
Anyway, I thought this cutscene would happen in Kazamalga because of what I had seen, you know, in the trailer.
Make haste! We must protect the Ronek!
Okay, let me
Don't worry.
move.
We're right behind you.
What's Arenville gonna do? I'm assuming we're going this way. I already have my stance on, so we're golden there. Ba-dum-ba-dum-dum-dum-dum.
There they are!
Oh, now we're sprinting.
They're terrified. We must do what we can to soothe them.
Snuffle. Okay.
That herd should be all right. Let's look for stragglers.
Do we see any in the distance?
The Ronek are to rally too. None shall be left behind.
Yep, there's some coming.
There must be something up ahead. Come!
Yep, I see him.
There!
These are no match for the likes of us.
I'm gonna bring him over here and we're gonna get him away from the Ronik. Come on.
Initari is clearly an understatement. More are coming!
Where? I mean, I think it would have been quicker if we would have stacked them all, but okay. Alpha alligator? Alright, Wuklamot. I want the aggro. I'm gonna evoke it.
All or nothing then.
That was pretty epic, not gonna lie. I'm gonna come back to fighting this thing. Now, is he using just abilities that are machinist, or is like he got his own individual abilities? I don't know. I don't know machinist well enough.
It seems that did the trick.
All right.
For the fodder, at least. But where's...
Oh, wow.
Look there! We've got a big one coming!
That's gotta be the Juruhetsu.
Impenetrable scales and wicked fangs. That's a Ronek Reaver, and no mistake.
There! That one there!
Let me remove my webcam real quick. You're not gonna get his attention. Even sprinting.
Not so fast!
Oh, it broke his glass lens! I mean, that was a choice, Kona. So where's Wuklamat?
Even should it cost me my life. I will save the head soul!
Kona, are you alright?
He's just got a broken glass lens.
Do not concern yourself with me. Get the Ronek to safety.
There. You've nothing to fear.
Maybe you just get him going? Come on.
Right. Let's finish the job.
Oh, it's waiting on me. My bad. Here we go. Fight
I
time.
made a vow to our people. You shall plague them no longer!
Hey, pull out your sniper rifle. I know you do it from the trailer. Come on. Defeat the Thuruhetsu.
Reason is not without resolve.
Damn it! Not even a scratch!
Buy me some time to think, will you? It must have a weakness, and I will find it.
Is he in?
Too busy. I need time.
Bro, I'm trying. Am I supposed to stun it when you do that?
Right. Go for the legs.
Okay, so we're gonna go on the back side. And then after those go off, move into them. Makes sense. Wuklamat. Ooh. Holy crap, these things have a lot of health.
Now we just have to keep it pinned.
Wow.
Get thinking, Kona!
protective current of ether. But whence does it flow?
I don't know.
I've got it.
Yeah? Where are we supposed to hit then, buddy? Oh!
One well-placed piercing round to the chest, and... you're done for!
Ooh. Okay. I didn't think that that was going to be part of, like, the fight. That's pretty cool.
Nothing stopping us now.
I screwed that up. There we go, brought it back, brought it back. Still hit that during our burst phase.
Down, huh? Fine with me.
Oh. Now we're actually fine over here. Ooh! I like how that was a line tank buster and like a stack with your partner tank buster. I walked away from Wuklamat. Let me help Wuklamat regen her health some.
We must disperse that ether ere the river recovers it.
This is going to hurt.
Oh, come on. There we go. Woo! I know that was for duty complete. For half a second, I thought I just hit level 101. Even though I know that they did not raise the level. Cap?
We did it.
Yeah, we did.
The Etso, are they?
The Ronek have all made it to Mehwa Hetsuan. Hunters are scouring the area for any remaining threats, but the local fauna appear to have calmed down.
We cannot thank you enough for your timely aid. You, most of all, Bow of Reason. We feared you would be loath to take direct action, yet you didn't hesitate to put your life on the line for our Hetso.
Because he's a good leader.
I did no more than as a Dawn servant's duty. The ethereal conductivity of those scales is astounding. I dare say we could repurpose them to create a device that emits controlled pulses of ether.
Ether resembling that of the predator the Ronek fear most. It might work. If we struck the right balance, we would have the means to deter the Ronek from approaching the railroad without causing them undue distress.
Interesting.
Incredible! Kona, you've done it again.
He is pretty good at that.
I was hoping I'd never have to see one of these again. Still haven't forgotten the last one. And it's been more than 20 years now.
Could this be the reason that Kona was left behind?
I had come as a trader to the camp in Lozeniheta. A camp that was obliterated in an instant by that monster.
Lozeniheta. That's where the Pelu Pelu trader found me as a babe.
Oh, here we go.
Please, can you tell me what you saw?
As I said, I had traveled there to trade with our fellow Hetzaro. Like us, they followed the Ronek. And like us, they were visited by a reaver. The fiend struck like a whirlwind in the night. It was chaos. I grabbed some token belongings and bolted in a panic, thinking only of getting as far away as possible. But even in my panicked state, I could not help but notice the young couple racing the other way, toward the fell creature.
Could that have been his parents? I bet you, like, I'm not even gonna switch to the other screen. Like, that's what we're about to find out.
Well distracted, I heard one cry. Save our son! Save the Hetzo! After that, nothing but the pounding of my heart and feet and Ronek thunder. I ran and ran. And as the sun broke the horizon, I found myself separated from both man and beast. Windborne words say that a group of survivors reunited with their remaining Ronek and have long since moved on. But still more were never seen again, including the brave couple. Or so the story goes.
And what became of their child?
Kona, I think you know the answer to that.
I'm afraid I don't know. But if he wasn't with the survivors, even if he lived through that night, the wilderness wouldn't have been kind to a little one out on his lonesome.
Maybe not. But perhaps a passing Pelu Pelu would. And one day, even a done servant himself. All these years, I was convinced that my parents had left me behind to follow after the Ronek. But now I see, they didn't abandon me. They were trying to keep me safe. I've wasted so much time resenting them, when in truth, they gave me everything I have today. It is thanks to them that I live to know the warmth of family, even after they were gone. And now that I am done servant, all of Tuliyola is my family. A family I will always protect, as my parents protected me.
Okay. That was intense. To know that the Hetzo are safe is more than enough. Would it be wrong to hope that In protecting them, we also avenge my parents. It is the least I owe to them after all this time. Arilith, I thank you for standing by me, as Dawn's servant and as the oft imperfect man beneath that mantle. Now, let us return our attentions to the matter we came here to address, shall we? We have removed the root cause of the Ronic strain from their favored grazing, and obtained the tools to devise an additional precautionary measure, a silent whistle as it were. This whistle must be capable of emitting pulses of ether strong enough that they will shy away from the tracks on instinct, yet not so strong as to drive them into a panic. If we can achieve this, it will be a far sight better than a traditional whistle, more effective and less stressful for the creatures themselves. Let us return to Shaloni Station and begin work on it then, while Lika and his crew will doubtless be relieved to finally have a solution. I think after this we only have like 1 or 2 more quests until we're done with this new MSQ. I think. Nope. You look pleased about something. Good news for the railroad, I take it. So the Ronic were avoiding a predator. Smart ones they are. And Valcona's not too bad himself. What with his whistle idea. Sit tight. We'll have this train on the tracks before you know it. Yeah, I'll sit tight. I didn't think we'd have the train ready like this expansion.
We're ready to go.
Whoa! She looks as good as new.
If I had time to do a proper job, could have really made her shine. Had to cobble together the exterior with spare parts. We refurbished the interior, though. Not that you can appreciate it from out here. But as far as the Ronic are concerned, we've spared no effort. From the ballast to the ties, we've adjusted every bit of the track so she'll run quiet as a field mouse.
You and your crew have worked wonders. Our nation is in your debt.
Come now. If anything, credit's due to Tuliolal. It's thanks to the folk you recruited from every corner of the continent that we were able to get her up and running so quickly. Besides, the ethereal whistle's the true marvel, and we wouldn't have that without the scales you brought us. However grateful you are, know that we're even more thankful.
Yeah! Kona, let's go!
Right. If we're done talking, let's put this train through our paces.
Little Clamat's little happy jumps. That was awesome.
There's a Ronic up ahead.
Now, to test our whistle.
on it. Just point it in the general direction and...
Perfect.
It's moving away. Meanwhile, our friends over there appear wholly unperturbed.
With this, we can alert those who wander too close without disturbing the rest of the herd.
A roaring success! In a quiet way, like. Then with your permission, Vow of Reason, the Shaktaral Railroad is back in service.
Hey! Perfect. Bring the webcam back. Nito Weekway. For a while there, we were real worried that we'd never get the railroad running again. But now that the test drive was such a success, we can breathe easy and start hauling people to and from the dome. First Shaloni, and then the continent. Watch out, Jacques Terral, here we come. I share the sentiment, but we've got a mountain of work ahead of us to ensure smooth operations. Time to get back to it. Yeah. The efforts of all here today have not gone unnoticed. Once more, I thank you. As for our own work, I trust you can handle matters in Alexandria, Lamachi. Crossroads? Yeah, okay. Never one to stand still, Wook Lamont is ready to race back to Alexandria. Well, it's possible that Shale's made some headway by now, and regardless, we should spread word that the railroad's been restored to service. Shale, what do you have her working on? Lulja's mother. I'd feel the same in his shoes, have felt the same. Some questions are painful to leave unanswered. There's no cause to look at me like that. The Kafkiwa we met may have only been a simulacrum, but her memory was real. Oh, he's got a little Kafkiwa charm! I needn't search for what she left behind because she left it with me, and I will carry it always. That's pretty adorable, actually. Speaking of things you're carrying, is that a teeny tiny Kafkiwa? What? No. It is merely a token from Alexandria. Our friends in Oblivion would not take no for an answer, and I thought it as good a souvenir as any. Whatever you say. For what it's worth, I think it's a nice way to bring her with you on your travels. I agree. I really do. I think if there's a way I can get it, I want it. Yes, well, you're off to the dome now, aren't you? I thought I might join you for a time, see if there's aught I can do for the people there. Much changed though it is, I still consider it my home. Of course, we can give you the full story on the way. Alright, back to the back room. There's Santa Claus. Is the back room gonna be the new thing, like, that we always go to? Like in Endwalker, it was we always went back to, like, the palace in Rodzit Han. You heading to the back room? Yes. Raha! What do we got? A simple yet elegant solution, and thus is the railroad back in operation. Meanwhile, Shale has nearly finished processing the data. She will be able to share her findings with us imminently. It's Y'shtola! I'm happy. I'm interrupting something, I gather. Why, Y'shtola, what brings you here? I've seen enough of the gate in the Skydeep cenote for now, so I'm shifting my investigation to living memory. While there, I thought I would do well to have the company of an expert on Electrope. I'd like to take a closer look at the place myself. I can join you once we've finished here. Lest you fear I've forgotten, once I've made headway with living memory, the key in your keeping shall be the next subject of my scrutiny. The shrug. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Oh! Hold on. What if that is... Hold on, we got a cutscene, never mind.
There was a mountain of data to sift through, much of it tantalizing, I admit.
Okay, well, while this is paused, then I'm going to switch back to the screen. What if that's going to be like the Bozja area we go to, is whatever Y'shtola is doing with the key? I hope that's the case. Okay, back to this.
But it will take time to fully decrypt everything that piques my interest, so... To answer our immediate question, I've been concentrating my efforts on the audio saved by Taishulja herself. While I've not listened to it yet, I have a selection ready for playback. Would you like to hear it now?
Yes, please.
All right. Several audio files will now play in sequence.
It is suggested that you set aside time to listen to them all.
My name is Taishulja, and I've decided to record this to help me put my thoughts in order, I suppose. Mother? Officially I was a Virgin with the Lance Guard. I was part of a contingent dispatched to Yasulani to hunt a Tural Vidral that was wreaking havoc. After our mission was complete, I elected to remain. It was the perfect opportunity to document the geographic distribution of medicinal herbs in this region. Or so I said when requesting special dispensation. In truth, I could not bear to return to Tuliolal.
Why?
I had hoped to aid Commander Zoralja in the right of succession, but he did not so much as look my way. I was never in contention, of course, one of the nameless many in his army. To go back and face that reality was too much for me, so I ran, and in my cowardice, I stumbled upon this path, a path that changed my life. When the dome appeared, I found myself trapped within, and reunited with my commander. How am I to speak of Commander Zoralja? I admired him. His incontestable strength, his unwavering focus. He was a man of great passions. I watched him, captivated by his intensity. From afar, I would not dare approach. And in watching, I came to know him.
Well, I don't know about that.
His eyes too sought the distance, but not as mine did. He yearned not for another, but something else, beyond the horizon. That gaze would never fall upon me. I knew. The experiment will soon proceed to its next phase, and when it does, as he promised, I will have my heart's desire. Today. It should have been today. A new beginning. What I have dreamed of for so long. I hold a future in my arms. If he could see him, embrace him, surely that would be enough. So full of hope I was. A foolish hope.
Oh no.
Its scales are blue.
He's your son.
My... No, I can't. I don't know how. How could I? How? To raise a child, be a father. I don't. I can't. No! Get it away from me. Get that thing away from me!
Did he just remember that?
It's all right, little one. Papa was just surprised. That's all.
He got to hear.
He'll come around. We'll be a happy family.
Ouch.
Kaniloka's shouting for me. The research hasn't been going well, but I can't let him take it out on my baby. Hush now, little one. I know just where I do.
That's all of them.
He was abandoned, the poor dear. We found him in the drift downs a few years ago.
We know some manner of accident happened at the facility after this was recorded. Perhaps your mother couldn't come back for you.
Hey, Gololcha.
I'm fine, Lamarchi. Father and mother, they were both so lonely. if we could have been together, maybe they wouldn't have been. But sometimes things don't work out, no matter how hard you try. I can't tell if I'm happier now.
I don't know if I would be.
But it's better to know, I think. Thank you, everyone.
I mean, you got to hear your mom's voice, which is huge. Oh, that didn't feel good. Wrong thing. Turning that back on. Alright, I need to know how he feels. It's okay. I wanted to know more about my parents, and now I do. And I don't regret it. I have Lamachi and Kona and you, Arilith. I'm not lonely now. It's better to know. A profound response for one so young. Well, I wish he didn't have to be. Galulja is indeed wise beyond his years. Yet one never outgrows the need for dependable companions. 'Tis fortunate that he has you. Thank you, Shale. Because of you, I got to hear my mother's whole story. You heard it because you were brave enough to listen, Galulja. You remember one thing, remember that. The adorable little jumps. It still hurts. Now then, having shared what I can at present, I am ready to head to living memory when you are. I am planning to be thorough, so we will need to stop for supplies on the way. That said, I promise we won't remain over long. I know we all have much and more to attend to. For now, farewell. Alright. A word before you leave. Our network's already spreading word of the railroad. We expected people would be clamoring to get on the first train back. Yet the reaction's been the polar opposite. Scant few seem inclined to depart Alexandria anytime soon. What? When we spoke before, you said many from Tuliolal were eager to reunite with friends and family. Maybe they're concerned about getting through Vanguard? If so, we could take turns accompanying them. In any case, we need to speak with the people ourselves. Let's start at Lane 09. Alright. Whatever you say, Lamachi. Where's Lane 09? Okay, it's like the main Aetherite product. Main Aetherite. Wow. Hard words. Main Aetherite Plaza. Ba-da-da-da-da-dum. Ba-da-da-da-da-ba-dum. Ba-dum. There may still be people gathering in Praxis Park. Let's try there first. Okay. Cutscene is it going to be voiced or quiet? Or voiced by me or other people?
People look uneasy. Did something happen?
I wonder what it could be.
Have you heard? Someone was killed in the Thunder Yards.
What?
The Thunder Yards was one of the hunters slain by a beast.
It was a hunter, all right, and a veteran at that. But it was no fiend that did him in. Only a random bolt of lightning.
Ooh.
Such a senseless way to die. They say that he expended his last soul cells during Zaraljar's attack on the city.
Makes sense why people are a little scared to leave now.
For an upright, hard-working man to meet such an unceremonious end, it feels wrong.
But we'll be fine, won't we? Even if the system no longer erases our memory of the departed, the regulators continue to function. I shan't go before my time. Growing old and passing peacefully with the help of the ushers is only natural.
Well, you may think so, but how are we to know? We have no memory of those who have gone. More may have met violent deaths than passed from old age, and we would be blissfully unaware. It could happen to you, or me, to any of us.
Then what are we to do? Spend every waking moment thinking only of how we might die?
With time, I had hoped that they'd be able to adjust to their new situation. But it's only gotten worse.
Look! It's Queen Sphene!
What? What?
What?
Help, Queen Sphene! The grown-ups are really upset, and I don't know what to do.
I see that you are as kind-hearted as ever, Nico. Never fear. I'm here to set things aright.
What do you
I don't
mean?
understand. Sphene is gone. Forever.
What did you do?
You there, Gussin. You were the Queen's aide, weren't you? What's the meaning of this?
Begging your pardon, Vow of Resolve. But Her Majesty Queen Sphene is paying visit to her people, as is her wont.
What are you talking about? Sphene is dead. You officiated the funeral yourself. We all placed flowers to mourn her passing.
A funeral? For Her Majesty? What a curious jest. You know full well that ceremony was to commemorate those lives lost during the attack of Alexandria. Her Majesty walks among her people that she might support them in this most trying of times. Surely that is not cause for consternation.
Your Majesty, won't you free us from these terrible memories of the departed? This is no way to live, not for us, nor our children.
I wish that I could. Truly I do. But with living memories shut down, even I cannot restore the system that once afforded us that comfort. You needn't fret, however. I have prepared an alternate solution.
All of us shall be made endless.
I have created a new system that allows you to transplant your memories directly into an ethereal vessel. One not reliant upon soul cells. This way, you need never again fear death. You may live as you please, and for as long as you like. Our stores of ether are, at present, not sufficient to provide this boon to everyone. But some of you received neo-regulators for the funeral ceremony, did you not? And there are still more we have yet to distribute. 5,000 in all. One day soon, those with neo-regulators will be called to join the Endless, and thence be free of suffering forevermore.
But only 5,000 of us?
You Victral! The real Sphene would never be content to save only some of her people. Who are you?
I am Sphene, the Queen of Reason.
Let's return to the back room. I need to calm down, and then we'll talk.
I just now realized my microphone's been muted and I don't know how long. We need to find out who she really is. While I agree wholeheartedly, we should avoid drawing more attention than we already have. We must be patient until Oblivion's network turns up a lead, or until our self-proclaimed queen makes her next move. I'll take direct hit. That's insane! Meanwhile, blah 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 blah, right? In living memory. Something's gonna, if something happens to Stola, I swear. I mean, there's Stola.
Where am I? My people, are they safe?
Is this the original Sphene?
Why am I?
What is going on? In fear of death, the people turned to Queen Reborn their fates to learn. What do you mean? What? Of all the directions they could have taken this expansion, this is not what I was expecting. I was sad to see Sphene go at the end of the main expansion, and now she's back? What? I'm excited to see where it goes. I have no ideas where it's going to go. I have no idea. My mind is blown right now. Like I got nothing. I think I'm more animated about the ending of 7.1 than I was 7.0. All right, well, YouTube, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Probably tomorrow for you, YouTube, the Alliance Raid video will be up because I'm gonna switch over and stream that right now. But anyway, let's end this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below and let me know how you enjoyed it and all of that, and that you can catch me live on Twitch at twitch.tv/CalebGames here, where I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, starting between 9 and 10 a.m. Pacific time. I love you, YouTube, and I will see you around.